Greetings to you, our dear viewers, and welcome to yet another episode of Lumen Conversation Unscripted. Those of you that are watching us live on Facebook and those of you that are watching us live on YouTube, well, we have good news for you. This time you don't have to worry about bundles. Lumen TV Zambia has gone countrywide. So in case you don't have bundles, next time please tune in to channel 101 on Topstar and purchase live. My name is Macy, and with me in the studio I'm joined by Sydney Mwamainda, and we have a special guest with us joining us today, Constance Kabota. Welcome to Lumen Conversation Unscripted.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you, Sydney. You can say hi to our viewers and also welcome our special guest.
Our special guest, Constance Kabota. Thank you very much for joining us and for accepting to come and be with us. But also to you, our viewers, those in Chinsali, Chipata, Kasama, Ndola, Kitwe, Monze, Mongo, welcome on board, and we're grateful that you've joined the Lumen family.
Yeah. So, Constance, we welcome you once more.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I know our viewers are actually excited to see a beautiful face featuring on today's episode. Kindly tell us, who is Constance, where is she from, what does she do, and stuff, for some of us that don't know.
Okay. Constance is a young, vibrant lady.
Exactly.
Yes. Working for the Secretariat, Catholic Secretariat, under the Health Department.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and there I'm the Monitoring and Evaluations Officer. But professionally, I am a social worker. Yes. Oh. So my work is mostly in the community. I love community work. So charity, community work, my passion. So yeah, that's about me.
Okay, so you say mostly your work is in the community. What exactly do you do under the Health Department as Catholic Secretariat? Okay, so
I'm the one who's in charge of all the data that is collected in the department, where projects are concerned, and also I oversee information that's coming through from the health facilities under the Health Department from all the Catholic health institutions. So all the Catholic health institutions are coordinated by the Catholic Secretariat Health Department. So I sort of oversee and monitor the projects that are going on there, and also taking information that's coming from the institutions.
Oh, okay. So yes. Probably some of us, we're just hearing project. We don't know what kind of projects. Is it projects that when we hear of health, I don't know if you give Panadol to what kind of projects exactly?
Okay. So, health is wide. Yeah. So a lot of institutions are also doing different projects. We have projects that do with HIV and AIDS. We have projects that are looking at malnutrition. Like an example is one of the projects that we're running under the Catholic Health Department is the ECAP 2 project, which is the Empowered Children and Adolescents program.
Okay.
Yes. So that project is looking at the welfare and health of children, adolescents, and also their caregivers. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Madam Constance, when you talk about the health department coordinating the health institutions, what kind of institutions are these? And you keep data. How many do we have as a Catholic Church?
Okay, so as a whole,
yes,
we have 73 Catholic health institutions.
Like countrywide?
Countrywide. In all the 11 dioceses. Okay. Yes, so amongst those we have 25 hospitals. These are both level 1 and level 2. Okay. Yeah, so, and then we have the rest are rural health centers, hospices, and also mission schools, Catholic health
Nursing
schools. Yes, like nursing schools.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So those are all under the health department.
So maybe for now, let us, with that information given us, let us maybe dwell on the ICAP 2 project. Already you started to explain what it is about and who are involved. How was this project concepted?
Okay. So this project is a USAID project, and USAID works with different partners. So we were approached by Project Concern Zambia, who are also an NGO that's dealing with different projects. So they partnered with us. So they're like the prime who got the project, and then they involved different partners to help them with the project. So we're one of the sub partners. Yes. So under the sub partners we have the Catholic Health ZCCB, and then we have Wafwano. Is also another NGO which is operating in Central Province. ZCCB is operating in Southern Province. So it's 2 provinces for the ICAP 2 project. So BISO, which is Wafwano, they're short for the acronym is BISO. So they are the ones that are doing Central Province, and we are in Southern Province. So, and then we have another partner which is Blue Coat Systems, that's helping us with the collection of data. They help with coming up with programs to collect the data, so that our workers or case workers or health workers in the communities are using the tablets, so they're in charge of that system. So there are 3 partners that are operating under that project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but then I heard you talk about the ICAP, like they're working they're in the Southern Province. Why are you there? How did you come up with the whole thing? What made you only work in the southern part of Zambia? Okay, so the project is actually wide. It's around Zambia. Okay. So there's ICAP 1, which is in other parts of Zambia, and then we have ICAP 3. So there are 3 ICAPs. So us, we're ICAP 2, and the concentration is on Southern and Central Province. Oh. Yes.
Yeah, it was actually even raising concern even in me that only 2 provinces, and then when you talk of vulnerable children and adolescents, these are all over, and they are a weaker group of our society. Yes. And everywhere you go, you find these children whom also you can see through the street kids that we have and the like. But talking about ICAP 2, tell us what are the objectives of this program? Okay, so the main objective is to provide holistic needs-based services to the vulnerable children, the adolescents, and their caregivers. So we have 4 domains that we're looking at when providing these holistic services. So we're looking at health. So under health, we are making sure that the children are provided with access to health, and that they are all healthy, and they're able to access health services in the communities that they are staying. And then we have the SCOOD domain. This is we're providing support so that the children that are under our program are all enrolled in school. Those that are not in school are enrolled in school, and what needs they have so that they can be and remain in school. So we're looking at school progression and retention. And then we also have the stable domain that is looking at the economic aspects of the family. So we're making sure that they're economically stable, they're able to meet at least the basic needs. Then we also look at the safe
domain where the children in the household need to live in a safe environment. So we make sure that we see to it that there is no gender-based violence in that household, and provide counseling where it's needed, and just make sure that the environment the children in our program are staying in is safe. So those 4 are the objectives of the project.
Okay.
Stable domain, even food is provided?
Food is not provided, but we do link them to organizations or communities that are providing food services. So most of our services are linkages. So we where there is a need, we link to another organization or a facility, or where those services are provided. So we make sure we are the link and they get those services in the household. Yes.
Okay. So how do you identify these children?
Okay.
Do you have people on the ground?
Yes. So most of these children are identified through health facilities. So we have different subpopulations of children that we are looking at. So we have the children who are living with HIV. We identify them through the health facilities. Then we have the exposed infants. So those are children who are born from mothers who are positive. We also identify them through the facilities. And also we have the children of women living with HIV, those who are above 2 years, who are not infants. We also identify them through their mothers in the facilities, and then we follow them in the community. We also have children of female sex workers. These are all identified through the communities. So we have case workers who are in the communities identifying these children, and they enroll them in the program. Then another subpopulation are survivors of sexual gender-based violence. So these are also children who have been abused, and probably some don't report it, so they're identified through the communities. The ones that are reported are identified through the police and through other organizations and community members. Yeah. So those are the children that we enroll in our program.
Nothing from the, for lack of a better term, parents that we can say maybe they have nots. Both parents are there, then they can't just manage. For example, their home is not a stable home, it's not that safe.
Okay, yeah.
They can't manage education on their own.
Okay, yeah. So if the project is really based on those subpopulations that I just listed, okay. So they have to come from those subpopulations, and then they qualify to be on our project. Mm-hmm. Yes. So it's not just everyone.
Okay. Now, as an officer, why is this project interesting for you?
Okay. You know that children are vulnerable generally. So for me, helping them health-wise, whether it's to do with HIV or gender-based violence, it brings me joy. We're living in a society these days where everything is out in the open. I think when we were growing up, we were never free to watch things on television. We were never free to talk about sex or certain topics. We didn't have much information, but now information is everywhere. It's everywhere. Now they've become so vulnerable that they're getting wrong information even. So as a project, providing the correct information so that the children know what is right and what is wrong, and using the correct channels and the correct platform, for me is a plus. So that's the important thing that I'll take away from this project, so that they have the correct information. In as much as they are surfing the internet and having these wrong informations and wrong ideas. But if we do our part and provide the correct information, it will help even the children lessen the infections of HIV. They are aware about gender-based violence. They're interested more in going to school. Yeah, so for me, that's the importance of this project.
So do you have workshops with them, or you counsel them?
So we have caseworkers who are placed in each facility, and they have this, they can provide counseling. They can link you to based on what your vulnerability is.
Oh, okay.
So we have qualified caseworkers who help with these children and their needs, and where they're vulnerable, they come in and link them, or they help them where they can. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, just as a matter of information, even to our viewers who are following us on this program and getting interested, what would you say? You said you keep data of the department at Catholic Secretariat, the health department.
Yes.
From the data you have and the experience you have from the communities where this project is going on, how would you say the prevalence of HIV and AIDS is at the moment?
Wow.
In this era of information, as you have said, and people can access, or children can access any information that they want.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not as much as it used to be. It has really reduced. It has really reduced according to the data that we are receiving, because I remember when we were doing HIV testing in the communities, it was very, very difficult for us to actually find positives.
Oh, okay.
Most of them were recording negatives, and for us that's a plus. Of course we want numbers, because if they say this time let's go in the community and do testing so that we enroll all the positives, and then you find there's none. It's bad news for data, but it's good news for where health is concerned, because you know that the numbers have reduced. You know that people are actually informed and they are taking precautions, and that's why the numbers are dropping. So they have dropped. I'll give you an example of the children living with HIV. Our enrollments from when we started, and because the project is a 5-year project, so we're in the 5th year already.
Okay.
So from the time we started, and the numbers of enrollments now, very few. So we're not getting as many new cases as we used to in the beginning. So the numbers have really reduced. Yes. And also, I think because people have got the right information, most of the people that we have enrolled who are positive, you find that their viral loads are really suppressed, because our caseworkers are encouraging them to take their medication and adhere to medication. So their viral loads are suppressed. And as it was, because we ended the 4th year in October, in September. So we started the 5th year in October. And from the data that we had collected under ZCCB health facilities, 98% of the CLHIVs, or the children living with HIV, were suppressed. So we have very few numbers of high viral load, and mostly those are the people who are being cancelled still, and maybe they here and there they lose hope to drink their medication, but our caseworkers are on the ground helping them so that they can adhere to medication. And at the end of the project, what we're hoping for is complete suppression for all the children that we have enrolled in the program. Yeah.
Okay, great. That is, I think, a good story you're bringing out. But also, it, I'm sure, means that we should not be relaxed. Yeah.
Yes.
We should keep our guard.
Yes.
Yes. Now, know that this is a project like you've mentioned, or you've even mentioned 5 years projects have time frames. So now the project like this one, which is going on well, schooling, of course, children and adolescents. After 5 years, one would be like, is it in grade 5? It was a toddler, or maybe grade 3 or what? So after the project, what next?
Okay, so the way the project is designed, like I said, we're not the ones who give. Especially, let me give an example of the stable or economic domain. For the stable domain, we link them to ministries or organizations that help them to sustain their financial capabilities or their financial statuses. So I'll give an example. An example is village banking. So that's something that can go on even when the project ends, because they are familiar. So we introduce that in the community and we link them to that village banking, and then they continue on their own. So we also have families. So the families are not in the project for the whole 5 years. When we meet their needs and we see that they are stable, then they graduate. So there's what we call a graduate. Yes. So there's something that we're calling a graduation. So meaning that all the vulnerabilities that you assessed in that family have been met. So that family is able now they're healthy, all the children are in school, the parents are able to provide all the basic needs financially, and the environment is safe. Then that family graduates, because now they are able to meet the needs that the project is aiming for. So that is sustainable. So for us, so our aim is to make sure that each family that's in the project graduates before the end of the project.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is also interesting. Does it? It's like becoming true words of one advocate who says, when you have a problem in society, it is not always government, but society can always do something.
Yes.
Is this true?
Yes, it is very true. It is very true. I mean, we have partnered with government and the Ministry of Health and other line ministries like the Ministry of Education, but we also need to do our part. Yes, in as much as they're doing their part, we also need to do our parts. Believe me, in the communities, people they are able to help each other. When you introduce something and they see that it's something that can work, they are able to. So they just need encouragement, and they need projects like this to come aboard and partner with government ministries and just help where they can. So we're also doing our part with this project. Yeah.
I see from what you're explaining in bits and pieces, the successive stories are coming out. This is something you can explain on its own. So tell us some of the successive stories that you can point to from this project.
Okay. I already mentioned one, which is when we were enrolling the positives, most of them, their viral loads were not suppressed. They were really, really high. And now we are almost at 0. So meaning that almost all our enrolled positives as virally suppressed. That's a very big success. Yes, to know that they are adhering to medication and they are living life normally, just like any other person. Yeah. Another success story, I can give an example. We have a site which is under our under ZCCB Health Department in Monze Diocese in Hakunkula. I don't know if you've been there. So these are fishing camps. This is an island.
Okay.
Yeah, I never knew until this project that place even exists. So it's a fishing camp. It's an island. They had no school. All the children there were just, all they know is fishing. And when we went to visit there to do some enrollments, it was really sad to see that most of the children, if the parents want them to be in school, they have to have a relative somewhere on the mainland and take them there, and then they attend school there. The island is quite big, but there are no schools. But through this project, we identified that this problem was there, and through the diocese and partners that partner with the diocese, we managed to start up a community school there. So now there's a community school running, the children are able to go to school, and this year we were able to also provide school materials to those children. So they received some books, some pens, and some uniforms. So that's a success story on its own, because at the beginning there was no school, but now they're able to just have school within the island.
Did the island have, before you go to the teachers, I'm interested in, did the island have a healthy facility?
Yes, so they have a small health facility. No, it's not. But because the district is under us, so then we are operating in even the non-Catholic health facilities. Yes. So it was one of the vulnerable places we had identified. So there is a health post there, and there's a health facility on the mainland that supplements and visits the islands to provide them with all the health needs that they have. So vaccinations, you have to go by boat though, so it's quite a challenge, but I think with partnering with the Ministry of Health, we've managed to do that. So they have teams that go there from the health facility. They go out and reach to the islands to provide medication, to provide vaccines to the children. Yeah, so that's what's happening.
I had cuts in there. I'm sure he wanted to ask about the teachers or something like that.
Yeah, I was saying that community school, does it have, what kind of teachers does it have?
Yeah, so like I said, so this project has partnered even with other line ministries, with the Ministry of Education, so we had teachers sent there from the ministry. Yes.
It's truly a successful story. From the way you're saying the story with so much passion, and it's like, I don't know, it's like you can picture it.
From the beginning and to where it is now, yes, I can smile. Yes.
Okay, so maybe as we get towards the end of the program, as we say thank you to Madame Consoa, the Koha.
Yes.
Oh, Madame Consoa. Okay.
Yeah, we are grateful for what you've shared with us. But I'm sure these successive stories, you said in every province there's maybe ICAP 1, maybe ICAP 3, somewhere you are ICAP 3. You share the stories. Are they also, these ICAP 1 and 3, are they making the headways that you are making?
Yes, we actually have exchange visits within ourselves, and just to share ideas on how the projects are going and what we've achieved. And yes, we are all doing the same thing in the community.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe your final word to communities where you are working from, or those other communities that could be maybe watching and saying, oh, this is beautiful, and then thinking of maybe we want to join this kind of a project or an adventure. What would be your word of encouragement to such people?
Okay. Like we had discussed, I think everyone needs to play a role in making sure that the community is safe, the community is healthy, the children are all going to school. So talking about it is also something that can help. We need to be discussing these even in our churches, in our church groups. We are doing our part as a church. We're involved in so many projects, so much information, misinformation is out there, and it's time for us to take our own responsibility. As myself, I talk to my children, I talk to my relatives. We can all play a part in making sure that we have a good community. Everything there that the community needs is provided. So we can all play our parts. For me, don't wait for a project to actually come to your place. You can talk about these things. You can start up your own groupings, even in churches, in schools, and help the children have the right information. Yeah.
So you hear that?
Yes.
So it's not like you buy a banana for that daughter of yours and then you lock her into the bedroom to eat alone, and you know that
the other children
the neighbor's children is hungry.
Buy that banana, let her go outside with that banana, and
share
from
with the
that
community.
young age begin to share.
Yes.
Then we can make her the better society.
Yes.
Yeah?
Advice taken.
That is my last word.
Oh, okay, so Constance, thank you for coming too. We look forward to hearing more of the successful stories.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was very nice having this discussion with you, and I hope to be invited again.
Sure, we will definitely invite you.
Speak more about now the health institutions.
Yes.
And how they are flourishing and bringing these health services to the poorest of the poor.
That's where we are. In the deep places. Yeah. No problem. I'll be available.
Thank you so much once again. Our dear viewers, this is all we had for you on today's episode of Lumen Conversation Unscripted. Until next time, it's bye-bye.